Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, kindly subscribe to my channel, and if you are a returning subscriber, please like and share this video. This is the chapter 2 and chapter 3 of Emma Shaw Redemption Road. Chapter 2 opens with Moses Vanning. He got out of the car and strode quickly towards the courthouse. Vanning's driver, who also served as his bodyguard, followed him closely. But Vanning wasn't fast enough to escape the attention of the small group of teenage boys hanging out near the courthouse. The boys were shouting Vanning's name. His bodyguard tried to drive them away, but Vanning told them not to. "You can't stop us from talking to Vanning," one of the boys said. "No way," another one said. The boy who had spoken up first was called Simeon. Vanning also knew Afonso, the smallest one. Vanning placed a heavy hand on Simeon's shoulder. Vanning knew all too well what it was like to be young, displaced, and unemployed. Vanning's parents had died in an accident on their way from San Nicola to Monrovia. Vanning had to live with the mother's sister. It was not a time he liked to think about, but it was a time that changed the course of his life. Vanning focused on Simeon's face. He could see the boy had not yet lost hope, despite all he had lived through. "I won't forget you," Vanny promised the boys before he walked away. Vanny looked towards the Temple of Justice, looming in distance. Vanny thought about how everyone was calling for peace. There can never be true peace in Liberia until there is equity for the masses. Vanny entered the Temple of Justice and made his way to the judiciary wing. His determination was renewed that in the cause of the people, the struggle has continued long enough. Now, it is time for the struggle to end. Chapter 3. Bendu got out of the crowded yellow taxi at Broad Street and handed the driver a 10 Liberian dollar note. She was thankful that exchange rate of Liberia to dollar to US dollars was steady. She was also glad to be going back to work after taking time off for her grandmother's burial. Nothing could take away Bendu's love for Monrovia, the coastal capital where she was born and raised. But still, sometimes, Bendu could not help remembering the mess she had seen when she returned. The telephone wire and cables destroyed and hanging down into the street. The bullet-riddled buildings, the bodies of men, women, and children in various stages of decay. Broad Street was a frightful sight, and if anyone had told her then that someday she would be running a local non-governmental organization right in the center of where that chaos was, she wouldn't have believed it. Bendu could hear the cry of wailing women. They wept for their lost babies, loss of family members, lost future, and lost dignity. She remembered all there while sitting in her office. Bendy took a deep breath and glanced at the clock on the wall. He told her that she had exactly 15 minutes before the 10 o'clock appointment. Agnes Jala, PIP's co-director, was already at work. She told Bendu that Calvin had visited her, but she wasn't around. Calvin had been a supportive friend to Bendu. Calvin liked Bendu, but Bendu is not willing to go into a romantic relationship with him. Bendu had not gotten over the love of her life. Jonah, that's Jonah. Bendu and Jonah never had a chance to show the world that they could make it. He died of an unknown cause just 2 months before the wedding. She could not stop thinking about him. Calvin, on the other hand, was a close friend of Benji, that's Bendu's deceased brother. Calvin was one of the best writers and he was willing to cover all of Bendu's write-up. Calvin could not help but glance at Bendu's every now and then. Calvin had an interview with Bendu Bendu told Kevin about the challenges she had faced, the trauma of those that witnessed the war, and how they were being affected, especially the women. Throughout the interview, Kevin could not help but admired Bendu. He even wanted to know more about Bendu's personal story, but Bendu shifted the conversation by saying that the interview was not about her. The interview was over. Kevin was set to go. He held Bendu's hand a little longer than necessary. Kevin asked Bendu if he could call her for a date, and Bendu replied as she gave him a playful push out of the door. So that's the end of the summary of chapter 3. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Stay blessed.